let's take a switch over to the NBA. And, the Lakers and LeBron James, they basically have the same team, with their big three. Westbrook coming back, Anthony Davis, LeBron.
The Geritol gang.
Yes. And, LeBron's trying to put together one more ride with the band, entering season number 20. Wants to win another championship. He's trying to stockpile his resume as much as he can. That was a cover band he
put together last year.
Yeah,
bad
no
one,
doubt.
too.
It was bad, and everybody knew it going in. You remember he was like, keep the same energy, because everybody panned it. Everybody thought it wasn't going to work.
They knew.
Everybody. But LeBron's tenure in L.A. is not as glossy and suitable for framing as you would think. Right. And that's with winning a championship. But he's not made the playoffs twice as well, and another time they got knocked out. So when you look at it, it's been 3 bad years, 2 non-making the playoffs.
And they didn't sign up for that.
Right, and then the 1 championship in the bubble.
Ooh.
So Richard Jefferson was on ESPN and basically said that LeBron hasn't done enough to be considered an all-time great as a Laker. Let's take a listen.
LeBron James has not done enough as a Laker to be on that list. This is his 4th season. 2 years they haven't made the postseason. 1 year they lost in the first round, and 1 year they won a championship. There hasn't been a consistent level of greatness. You can win a championship, that's great, but part of LeBron James being famous for being LeBron James, part of the Laker organization, is consistent greatness. Not like, 1 year you're trash, next year you're great. No, it's like, are you consistently those dudes? And it just hasn't intersected.
I think he has a point. I'm going to let you start first. Do you think LeBron will be considered a great Laker because he did come to town and did deliver a championship? Remember, before LeBron got there, the Lakers had made the playoffs, I think, in 6 years, Rob G., or was it 5 going into his first year, and then they didn't make it?
It's been a minute.
But it had been like, Rob G., is that right? Was it? So it was 5 years he didn't make it, that the Lakers didn't make it without him. He missed the playoffs the first year, so that was 6 years, and then he did deliver a championship. Where are you on LeBron and his greatness?
Greatness as a Laker, we know LeBron's a great player, so when I think of the Lakers, of course, calling LeBron an all-time great Laker is kind of disrespectful because you got the guys like Kareem and Magic, even Worthy. They all have, I believe, at least 3 championships, multiple finals appearances, even a Jerry West. What was he, 1-7 in the finals? But he went all those times, and he was there longer, and he's more part of the Lakers fabric. Elgin Baylor as well. So LeBron's an all-time great player, of course, a GOAT candidate to some, but he's not an all-time great Laker. Richard Jefferson has a point. He wasn't just being shock jockey or fishing for, views with that take. He doesn't fall in the top 3 Lakers, and barely would fall in the top 5 to 6. And it's really because he's LeBron James and what he's done before he reached L.A. that this is even a question. Because his Lakers stint has been very lukewarm so far. And all I hear is media and fans complaining about LeBron and how porous the team has been the last couple of seasons, with the exception of that bubble chip.
I think it's been a disaster, to be honest. I really do. And I know you say, well, he did win a championship. Yeah. But if you really look at what happened, even last year, LeBron averaged 30 points, and they went 3 or 4 months without winning back-to-back games in this week NBA. Then they went out in the first round. As soon as Anthony Davis got hurt, the Suns pushed him out like it was nothing.
Yep.
And then the first year, you remember, they didn't even make the playoffs. And they had the young players around LeBron and all that. And then that's when LeBron decided to trade all of them.
Right.
So if you look at what's happened here, other than the time they had the 4 months off for the pandemic, and they didn't have to travel, and Anthony Davis was making every shot.
They played in one place.
Right, didn't have to go anywhere. That worked out, but I think there's been more disappointment and bad play and the feeling like the Lakers are always broken during this LeBron era rather than joy in La La Land. And Rob G., I want you to jump in real quick.
Era.
I definitely want Rob G. He's the biggest Laker fan. And Rob G., am I crazy? Hadn't there been more heartache than championship glee for the Lakers since LeBron got to L.A.?
I mean, this season, yes. But before that, I mean, you can't help it that guys get hurt. Like,
I mean, but the first year they didn't even make the playoffs when you got LeBron.
But who was it? They were good before he got hurt. That's the thing. And then when they lost to Phoenix, that was just, everybody. Even you said, Rob, it was Fugazi what the Suns went through because every team they went through.
No,
was
that's
hurt.
true. That was true with the Suns. But I'm just saying,
as far as your
successful season,
as far as your overall take about this being, that LeBron shouldn't be considered an all-time great Laker, I think I would agree with that. And I would even go a step further. I don't even know if he's in the top 10 as far as Lakers go.
Right.
No, I don't
think. Yeah,
because if this is not Miami, this is not Cleveland.
Right. They got 17.
We got a lot of championships.
Right.
So if you were to just ask Laker fans, like, hey, where does LeBron rank? He'll be behind Worthy and even Pau Gasol and
Pau Gasol
Byron
won
Scott.
too.
Like he'll be behind those guys. Even not even just counting the Kobe, Magic, Shaq, Wilt, Jerry West, Kareem. Like he's way down the list as far as Lakers go.
Okay, let me ask you this. He doesn't win again, say he plays 2 more years there, right? And I don't expect him to win. I would consider his tenure in LA a failure. Would you not, Rob G, because he won a championship? Because if they didn't win any championship, it would be a colossal failure. Right. But I think it's a failure if he doesn't win again. Don't you?
No, because he was old when we got him. Like, we didn't get him in Miami's years when he only got 2 when they had 3 guys in their prime. Like, that, they were the first super team to me.
Yeah, but also, don't you think the bubble and that whole thing, like,
no, because
some people call it a Mickey Mouse championship, not me.
I know, but, going into that bubble, there was a lot of conversation by a lot of people by saying, well, now Kawhi's going to get healthy, and now, Giannis is going to get healthy, and all these different young guys that everybody had such high hopes for. That obviously didn't play out because the Lakers were the best team almost the entire season going into the bubble. So that one, to me, I don't understand why people are trying to take away from that championship.
Because if the bubble legacy, Rob, is the only thing that LeBron has to hang his hat on in a 5-6 year stint in LA, then it's a failure. His
why?
Situation is a failure.
But why?
I don't. I'm just saying.
I understand the concept of, hey, LeBron should have more than 4.
Because he went in there saying, I'm big bad Bron. I'm bringing my boys on. We're going to go through here. Keep that same energy. Look, we keep letting these guys off the hook, right? As much as they're great players, as much money as they make, they talk a lot of junk.
But wait a minute. Him and Anthony Davis, even though he's older, Anthony Davis isn't enough to really compete for more than one championship?
Yeah, they should have 2, but AD and LeBron got hurt.
Okay, so now if they don't win these next 2, I think people in L.A. won't have a great feeling about his tenure in L.A.
No, I disagree with that.
Okay.
I think that they won't view him as the same way they view the other guys for sure, but having a champion, I know that it's different for Laker fans because we're measured in championships.
You're used to winning, right? That's what I'm saying.
And that's what sets this apart. He's going to go down in Cleveland history as like a god because he got 1.
Well, they got one championship in the last 55 years or 60 years, and he won it.
And even Miami, the fact that he got them 2, it's like, oh man, LeBron James, we got him at his absolute peak of his powers.
Yeah, but you know what?
But Dwayne Wade is going to be held to a higher view than he is.
He was already there.
Exactly.
On top of that, Wade was already there,
and he had already won without LeBron.
He already won without LeBron.
Yep,
exactly.
So
we could talk about this all day with LeBron. He has to come up with something. It can't lay another egg this season like they did last season.
Right.
Let's put there has to be some improvement. And how are you going to improve with almost the exact same team?
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out and whether or not the Lakers can compete with all these younger teams and all these other teams that now feel powered and emboldened, like New Orleans and like Memphis, like the
time is coming, Rob. The NBA will look completely different in 3 to 4 years.
Right? No, we're because there's a whole wave of new people coming in and new players. So we want to hear from you on this. On this, LeBron, we heard Richard Jefferson said he hasn't done enough to be considered a great Laker. Where are you on LeBron James? I know we got calls. JR, let's go.
Yeah, I'm Aaron in Virginia. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio with Rob Parker and The Gambler. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yes, I do not believe LeBron should be considered an all-time Laker. I think to be an all-time great for the franchise, you have to make your name known there.
Let 'em
So
know.
I think, LeBron will be an all-time Cavalier. He'll be maybe even a Miami all-time. But, we don't consider really Jordan an all-time Wizard. We consider him an all-time Bull. So
Right.
even though he won the bubble chip, I think LeBron is not an all-time Laker.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that, unless he wins his last 2 years or something like that, and then that could change, right?
Okay.
That could change everything. But right now, with them, not making the playoffs 2 years, getting knocked out in the first round 1 year, and then the bubble championship, I still consider this is not what the Lakers, they thought that they would be in the mix a lot more. They didn't think they'd get one championship.
And it's funny because it's like the biggest trick ever played. They're expecting a different result this year with the
same team.
A year older. I just don't get what they expect. Let's find out what Marcus in California thinks about LeBron James' Lakers legacy. You're on Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Marcus, shoot.
Yeah, what's up? How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing great. How you?
Good. I'm good. Look, check this out. LeBron James on the Lakers. I don't think he as good as everybody, even you guys say he is, because y'all giving him too much hate, so therefore you giving him too much love. I don't even think he that good. But what I will say is this. Any team in 4 years, to me, would rather have a championship and 3 losing seasons than the Utah Jazz or the Phoenix Suns, to where your team is good, but you ain't winning nothing. I would take the chip and 3 losing seasons.
Good point.
Of course you would, and I get that, but that's not what LeBron came to L.A. for. And all I'm saying is nobody thought that he would not make the playoffs 2 years when everybody and their uncle makes the playoffs in the NBA. So that's mind-boggling that LeBron. I'm just saying, that would you say, because prior to that, he always made the playoffs, and he comes to L.A. and they missed the playoffs twice? He couldn't even make the play-in game.
LeBron James fans have the shortest memories.
Right.
That's true. But check this out. That's true. But the Lakers were sorry before he got there. And look how old he is. He's a grandfather. He's old.
All right. Appreciate the call. 877-9905. I hear the grandfather.
Yeah,
Bronny's still in high school.
Yeah,
Can
his
Bronny?
kids are in high school.
Yes.
He's
and
definitely
younger.
not a grandfather yet. Right? We're going to go, is that Canelo? Is that our guy?
Canelo,
in
yes.
Denver?
Yes.
You're on the Odd Couple Radio, Fox Sports with Rob and the Gambler. What's up?
Canela.
What up, though? My brothers from another, man.
Yeah,
Glad to hear you two guys on, man. It's long overdue.
I know
What's
Canela.
going on?
I mean, you hung out with us when we were there for the All-Star game. We had wings.
Yep.
We met
Yes, sir.
a beautiful young woman you were with.
Yeah,
you remember
man.
that? We had a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
My wife didn't like that. But,
Blew him up on the radio, bro.
I know, right? He's like, wait a minute, what woman you talking about? All right.
Who?
Right.
I do need to say this, though, man. For all the listeners out there, if you guys get a chance to meet JR and Rob, man, you guys are tremendous, man. All love both times I got to meet you guys, so shout out to both of you. So
Because remember, he was here in New York for my Hall of Fame
Yeah,
party.
for sure.
He was in town, right?
He took me. You go to Magic City. Canelo knows the spots in Denver, baby.
Right.
We hit up about 5, 6
baby.
spots.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So let me
Much
get
love.
to my point here, man. I think LeBron's set in stone. If he's a Lakers great, there's no way, no how. He's in the mogul stage, man. Like, let's be real. He went to L.A. for business. Basketball is second now. He's a great player. He'll be remembered as a great player, but just someone who played for the Lakers, but not Laker great. And that's my take, man. Keep up the great work, man. Love you guys.
All right, Canela, thank you.
All right.
We appreciate
Been a
that.
man.